Honey, technology is growing so fast. Why sell your soul to the record labels? Music is one of the greatest magics in this world, and so a lot of people have a pull towards it. I myself wanted to do music from my teenage years, so I tried so many instruments, I wrote so many songs, and somewhere along my journey, I adopted this thought that success in music meant that I should be signed to a big record label and eventually make my way into Hollywood. And I know that a lot of young and old people think this way, but there's definitely no doubt that things are changing, and this is not just on a personal level, but on a universal level. We are going through a major shift. The old paradigm of the way we used to do things is crumbling away, and new paradigms and what we call the new earth is arriving. And as always, whoever sticks to their soul will be prosperous and abundant because the soul is everlasting. So let me tell you how I changed my approach about becoming a musician in this new earth way after I had my spiritual awakening. So the first thing that I realized about this music industry was that the game is not fair. However you look at it, it's not fair. And you might say, well, Sadie, life is not fair. And I do agree with you to a certain extent. There are different interpretations of what is fair, but it clearly seems like the music industry picks its new stars from the rich, wealthy families, the ones who are already in the community, the ones who have access to all of the resources. Now, back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, it was kind of the other way around because people who were making music, they were the ones who were creating out of the suffering, out of the pain, out of the alienation that they felt. They were talking about their problems and they were using music as an escape in their life. But nowadays, music has become a way for people to make money and gain social acceptance. And I'm not saying whether this is good or bad, we're just looking at it from the eye of the observer. This new way of giving platform to the Nepo babies has actually affected the quality of music in terms of lyrics, relatability, even genre. It's just not what it used to be. And it makes sense because now it's just being looked at as a business rather than the pure art expression. Another thing you look at is when you look at these stars, the child stars, the Nepo babies, all of these people who were lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time, what happened to them? Yeah, they became mega famous, but are they actually happy? Quite the opposite. These are, without exception, some of the most troubled people of our time now. There are allegations about what has happened to these people, whether it was sexual assault, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, the pressure through their contracts, the control, the manipulation. And a lot of these people unfortunately end up unaliving themselves or go through hardcore addictions. Is this what we really wanted through music? It's like the most sacred form of art has turned into the darkest hole on earth. It's like the message that these companies are sending out is, yes, we can make you famous. We can give you everything you want, but you're gonna have to pay the price. And you know, there was a time in my life where
I was like, yeah, I'll do anything to make it in the industry.
But then my soul is rebellious by nature, like,
you can't bully me.
just staying true to who I am, not bowing to anyone, and also being kind of hyper independent. So I was like, no thank you. I don't really need you in my life. If y'all want to go ahead and invite me, I'll think about it, but I'm definitely not chasing you. So I choose my hyper independence, my authority, and my dignity over the $1 million contract. However, this does not mean that I'm giving up on $1 million. I have so many other plans on getting wealthy. And stick around because this is my favorite part, guys. So you guys, there has never been a time in history where it has been easier to become prosperous as an independent artist or business owner without having to cuff yourself to long-term contracts and commitments of signing to a record label, you now have all the resources available for you to be your own manager, to be your own promoter, to be your own investor, and not just make money through the old paradigm way, which was like concerts, streams, CDs, etc., but also bring in all the tools that are accessible to you as an artist and as someone who's living in the 21st century. You no longer have to be one thing. And even though that's cool, but a lot of us are multifaceted, and I think a lot of you guys resonate with this, that I don't want to just be one thing for the rest of my life. It's just too big of a commitment. And maybe this is why we have never made our way into that hardcore Hollywood scene, because our soul wants to explore further. We want to have businesses, podcasts, YouTube channels. We want to write books. We want to talk about wisdom, life, money, and art at the same time. I know that I want to share my wisdom and also like have my own courses, maybe have this little school that I run, and also make art to express myself and to send my message out into the world. And heck, maybe I want to have an online store as well. Like, why not diversify my income streams so that I can build this foundation where I can make art without having to sell my soul? By the way, we hear this term of selling your soul, which is basically you having to do anything that you don't want to do for the sake of money. That's literally selling your soul. It's nothing more complicated. So my question is, why don't you make your own unique way of making it? Like, if it's money and audience that you want, there's a million ways that you can make that happen, and it doesn't have to be in the old-fashioned way. Maybe you're here to create new ways, new income streams. Maybe you're supposed to invest in your Airbnb business and also make music that actually touches hearts and is authentic and is not just made as a business perspective. Because when we talk about a soul-aligned life and path, there's infinite amounts of ways where it can happen for you, and no two people's paths look the same. The most important thing is that you tune in with yourself and you find the path that is best suited for you based on your desires. Not only do I see this new earth way vision possible, but it's so much better and so much more fulfilling than the old paradigm. So much that famous people are wishing that they could get a break from their contracts. Most of them spend so much precious time in lawsuits, battling corporations, getting the rights to their own voice back. Like, what the heck? So dystopian. And they're just exhausted by this lifestyle that they've been peer pressured into. Now, I'm gonna share with you guys my plan of how I wanna go about my music career and my art. Take what works for you, leave the rest. If you wanna add to our collective wisdom, put your comments under this video. Let's build this new earth way together. First of all, me being an amazing singer, songwriter, and creator is always going to be a part of my life, and nobody can take that away from me. What does a singer do? She sings. What does a songwriter do? She writes songs. What does a creator do? Create. So first of all, I'm just going to validate myself that I've already made it. You see what I mean? There is no destination. The moment I start to sing, then I am a singer, no matter if 1 million people are watching me or no one is. So I have a lot of songs that I'm working on, a lot of things are cooking, a lot of projects that I want to self-fund and build this vision of what I think the world should be, or what my message is, or what feeling I want to convey to my audience. Secondly, I know that money matters. If money didn't matter, there probably wouldn't be as many people interested in the music industry nowadays. So in order to take care of my money and secure my future, I'm going to think of all the ways that I can create income from my passions. You see, the goal is to actually live with passion. So how can you rebuild your life around your passion so that you're not miserable every day? You don't have to work a job that you don't like. So if you guys are new here, I've actually begun that journey. I have my own production company, and I also have a coaching business for creatives and artists like yourselves, where I help you create income streams around your talents and gifts. A few years ago, I was stuck in a 9-to-5 corporate job, working in a bank. I hated my job and I wanted to be an artist, and I had this dream of getting signed to a record label, and that just never happened for whatever reason. But I decided that I'm gonna be the agent, I'm gonna take action, and I'm gonna make my life in a way that actually fulfills me, and I'm not gonna fall into the trap of what other people have done for themselves, you know? With this new approach, which I teach through my coachings, you don't have to be enslaved anymore to a corporation or to a person who is your provider maybe. You have the freedom to create your own abundance based on your own gifts and your own passion, and that's just such a fulfilling, amazing feeling. I've also decided that I want to learn the craft of music production, like the thing that actually fulfills me. I've sat down with myself and I realized that I want to be the one who makes the catchy melody, who makes the cool riff, and who does a great production. That's what fulfills me. Yes, I could be a pretty doll being a puppet for another record label, but it's not fulfilling to me. I want to be the brain behind the music. So I'm going to take my time. I'm going to be gentle with myself. I know that I have a lot to learn about production and working with different DAWs. I've already begun that journey. And while this stage is time consuming, in the meantime, I'm going to work with other producers who are also independently making music for artists, so that I have this pathway of self-expression already. Like, I'm gonna release my music a month from now. I don't need to wait to be perfect. So this is my preferred way of going about this whole musical journey. I just know that freedom is one of my highest values, and there's nothing in the world that I would trade it for. I have to have my autonomy and like the freedom to create whatever I want at whatever pace I want. And I just love to look at life as this game that we play, and we have to solve these little puzzles. Let's solve how to make a song, let's solve how to make a music video and how to release it. And if you guys go back further in my channel, I've already released my own music videos. I've self-funded them. I've done collaborations with other videographers and artists. There's like a million ways to make this happen. So be creative, make your own path. After all, you are the freaking artist. It's your job to create. This is it, guys, for today's video. Let me know what you think. We are a community of visionaries here. I really love the community that I've built here, and the comment section here or on Instagram is always. So thank you for staying on this journey with me. I know that the old paradigm seems glamorous, but at the end of the day, which one do you want to contribute to? Like, do you still want to keep this way of suffering and like idolizing these mega famous celebrities who are not so much more talented than the rest of the people who are not lucky to be picked out? Or do you want to contribute to the new earth way, where everyone's art is appreciated, everyone has the freedom and the clear nervous system to create from their hearts? Well, if you have stuck around until the end of this video, I think I know which path you're about to choose. Thank you for watching, guys. Until next time.